Hey guys, Legendary Grimlock here, and this is the final power scaling video until, well, further notice, or at least until the next, wave or whatever. But anyway, we're going to talk about Necromaza, and obviously we're going to get down to the point here because we don't really have too much for him, but again, sorry for her. But Necromaza easily was able to absorb all the light in ultra space. Ultra space being a space beyond our own and containing, well, you could actually say different levels of existence, considering it is a space beyond our own. Basically, it's the Pokemon version of outer space with a couple dimensionalities into it. Like, it's actually the home world of the Ultra Beast, which Necromaza easily scales above. Now, this is based from Necromaza, basically the first form here. And then you have Duskwing and Duskmane Necromaza, who easily scale above this. Like, they're just astronomically above this level of state here. Like, they just, I guess you could say, considering that's universe, that's pretty much a infinite universe that Necromaza at base just absorbs. So Duskwing and Duskmane would easily scale above this. Plus, they also retain all the abilities Necromaza has and the abilities of Solgaleo and Lunala. Solgaleo is the lion that actually goes around eating stars for whatever reason. But we do know it's strong enough to actually not overpower, just to go up and straight up eat a star. So, again, extremely powerful. There's also Nahilago. Sorry, I think I said that. Sounded Hispanic with that. Nahilago, who is again one of the few stronger Ultra Beasts in its gene bracket or whatever, and in its species. And the Ultra Beast was able to not only merge with Lucimin, but give her so much power and control her. Obviously, was able to merge with her and control her, and gave her so much power she was actually able to go toe to toe with Duskwing Necromaza. However, it did not win that fight. Necromaza in its Duskwing form was able to also go toe-to-toe and absolutely demolish Tapu Koko. And I would actually say Tapu Koko is actually a pretty ridiculous Pokemon. Might include him in the short versus battles, might include him. But then you have the sheer fact that Necromaza is also made of light itself. It's actually an embodiment of light. Now, you could actually say that it's a balance between light and darkness, which are the concepts of both Lunala and Solgaleo, with Lunala being night and Solgaleo being day. Basically, they're both light and darkness. Both light and darkness still have some form of light capacity, to which we know that Ultra Necromaza actually brought light to the entire universe. And it possibly created Solgaleo and Lunala, just like how Kyurem created Zekrom and Reshiram. And I will be explaining that when I get to the Kaiju section of this channel. All right. So, with that being said here, with Ultra Necromaza, it was able to absolutely thrash and demolish the likes of Solgaleo, and then it needed full-powered final form or perfect Zygarde to even make a remote dent within its within it. All right, to even harm Necromaza, it needed a full perfect Zygarde to actually do its thing. Now, this is important here because 50% Zygarde was actually losing to Necromaza, despite the fact that it saved Solgaleo. It was still losing to Necromaza, to this Ultra Necromaza here. But still, it put up a good fight here. But this means that Necromaza, or at least in its Ultra form, scales above excuse me, definitely scales above the likes of a 50% Zygarde, who has the Nidhogg lore. Alright? With that being said here, this puts Necromaza in the upper echelons of Pokemon. I will probably make a short stating about the strongest, or at least top 10 strongest Pokemon in the respective verses, which will include the Origin Dragon. All right. Now, I will make a video about the Origin Dragon when it comes down to my Kaiju section. But we also need to scale other Ultra Beasts because 50% Zygarde, Xerneas, and Yveltal, which are the embodiments of life and death, and they're pretty much on an equal playing field, also scale above Ultra Beast, as they, even though they were scared more of Zygarde, they were still able to, drive Ultra Beasts out their territory, which is the Kalos region. And the Ultra Beasts actually had to leave because of all three of them. All right. So Ultra Beasts would actually scale to Tapu Koko, who's actually been able to fight and defeat most of the Ultra Beasts, but struggled with the likes of Buzzwole, Nihilego, and I believe there was one other one. Guzzlord. So Tapu Koko struggled with those three. So Tapu Koko, right, I would actually say is a universal force. All right, I would definitely confirm that it's a universal force, considering it's one of the stronger Pokemon that Pikachu has ever fought. I mean, we know Ash's Pikachu has done some legendary stuff like taken down Regice, and then it's also scaling above its other Pokemon like Charizard, which has taken down an Articuno. Now you might say, legendary, do these Pokemon have universal lore or universal feats? And I would actually say yeah, but it's because of where they scale to and the strongest members of Pokemon they scale to, such as Lugia. Lugia being able to stagger Hopa, and we also know that in the Hopa movie, Hopa is definitely a universal plus, sorry, not universal, at least a multiversal entity. Now, would I say Articuno scales fully to Lugia? No. I would definitely say it's around the areas of Lugia's power level, which means that Articuno would at least be universal. I would say at the most universal. Now, what would that mean for Ash's Pikachu, or what would that mean for Tapu Koko? I would say Tapu Koko is definitely a universe buster, considering it should be able to fight on par, if not do better, than Pokemon like Mega Latios and Mega Latias, who were able to fight against Kyurem and the other Pokemon. This would even include Pokemon like Zekrom and Reshiram, who would be around the Universal Plus margin. We also know that Hopa was able to simply just deal with Zekrom, Hopa, and Regigigas, who are all universal in power. I would actually say they were all equal to each other in power. So with that being said here, despite the fact that this isn't the creation trio, these Pokemon still have universal stuff, and this would then translate to Tapu Koko, which would translate to the Ultra Beast being universal plus level, or at least universal level threats, being in the same tier as characters like Moltres, Articuno, Zapdos, Suicune, Raikou. You guys get my point, right? So these Pokemon already scale to universal, and Necromaza is massively above this due to her being able to stalemate and even able to manhandle a much stronger Pokemon. As for speed, easily many times faster than light. I don't think it's really another option here. I mean, Lunala was able to cross light years within seconds, and then Duskmane and Duskwing easily scale above that. Plus, it also retains the abilities of the Pokemon when absorbed here. So then you have the Haxes. Considering Necromaza's Psychic type, it should have all the Psychic type abilities, but Necromaza actually excels in energy absorption and does no Dragon type moves like Dragon Pulse, Dragon Rage, and Hyper Beam. So with that being said here, if I had to pick a Pokemon it would really scale to, I'd definitely say it scales to Zygarde. I'd definitely say it would be equal to Zygarde, especially if their base forms, or at least I would say its base form scales to 50% Zygarde and would be superior in its Ultra form, but then Perfect Zygarde and then Ultra Necromaza would be equals. So this would definitely put them in the top 10 strongest Pokemon out there. But anyway, that's all I got for today, you guys. I know this video is a bit short, but again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.